home. Well, someday we're headed home. Someday we're headed home. There's no willing road to take. No, there's no willing road to take. It's just grass blades cutting through a road that's fake. There's no willing road to take. Some have ash and some have flame. At one point they were both the same. There's no question, there's no blame. At one point they were both the same. Some have ash and some have flame. Someday we're headed home. Well, someday we're headed home. We lay our pieces down to the loam. Well, someday we're headed home. Someday we're headed home. Walked through mansions and over graves, and I've watched how every man behaves. We all know someone who never caves. I've watched how every man behaves. Walked through mansions and over graves. Well, someday there's no more pain. Someday there's no more pain. Sure as the moon is gonna wax and wane. Someday there's no more pain. Someday there's no more pain. Someday we're headed home. Well, someday we're headed home. Miles of desert still left to comb. Someday we're headed home. Someday we're headed home. Someday we're headed home. All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm Ray Flanagan. It's nice to be here. Figured I'd take advantage of my deep morning voice that I just got here at 1 in the afternoon, and play some kind of quieter things here in the beginning. Yeah, Rock and Recovery. You do a lot of great things for a lot of people around the area, and I think it's a great thing, and I'm happy to be a part of it with you this afternoon here. Do a few tunes here, and then see what else I can think of to do. I don't know any magic tricks or jokes or anything like that. There's one called Patience Like a Willow. Patience like a willow, stumped in the interest of time. Well, I never asked for one prayer to last. I am only a passer orphan at a train with a ticket in hand. Oh, hey, porter man, have you seen my homeland? It's a suitcase with my name on the tag. Love like an ocean, giving and taking away. Oh, this hate is deep as the sky is wide, may slowly lead us astray. Don't sweep my tomb while I'm still in the hospital room, 'cause I wasn't looking for treatment out of you. And this lighthouse that I've built is the image on this quilt to keep us warm in the cold months when nothing seems true. God help us through. Love like an ocean, giving and taking away. And this hate is deep as the sky is wide. Well, it is only here for a day. Patience like a willow at a swale I can see from my door. Cattails and frogs where I buried my old dogs. There's a willow standing there. All right, get out of this drop D here. In the days to come, in the days to come, there'll be no more sickness, there'll be no more sorrow. In the days to come, we gotta keep our hands on the wheel. We gotta keep our hands on the wheel. You get what you need, you protect what you feel. We gotta keep our hands on the wheel. We gotta keep our eye on the ball. We gotta keep our eye on the ball. As together we stand, divided by it all. We gotta keep our eye on the ball. It's gonna be all right now. It's gonna be all right now. As we move on ahead and we get well again in the days to come. I have so many friends 'cause it never seems to last. And I know that that feeling can knock you cold to the floor, send you crawling down the avenue, begging at every door. Oh, I wanna feel your touch. Oh, I wanna feel your sweet touch. Oh, I wanna feel your touch again in the days to come. Well, it's gonna be all right now. It's gonna be all right now as we move on ahead and we get well again. Yes, we move on ahead and we get well again in the days to come. In the days to come. In the days to come. Whoa, whoa, in the days to come. Oh, in the days to come. Alright. I heard a good story the other day. I think applies to rock and recovery. It was the coldest winter of the year, and all the animals in the forest, the coldest winter of all time. I'm sorry, I already messed it up. How about that? It's the coldest winter. Just imagine. Bear with me. It's the coldest winter, and all the animals are struggling to find warmth in the woods, and the porcupines start to see all these other animals, the birds and the foxes and stuff, start to fall in front of them, and they realize that if they huddle together, they can keep each other warm and stay alive. But porcupines have very sharp quills, so they have to deal with being poked by their neighbor. And initially, they weren't they weren't receptive to this, and they spread out and they started dying and freezing to death. And they realized that they have to huddle together and deal with each other's pointy parts and things that we've all got our insecurities and our things that any interaction you have with another person, those things are going to rub against each other. Sometimes they work well, sometimes they are a little bit more hurtful, but I think the lesson to the fable of the porcupine is that to not be afraid to ask for help, but also to deal with people as they are, and accepting people for if you could see the good in people and get past the things that irk you or the things that make you uncomfortable, then you're gonna form a more beautiful relationship, because it's not about perfect people coming together. It's about people being willing to tolerate each other. And I think I'm gonna wrap that up here with one more song, and this one's just about it's a poem for equality for this great nation that we live in. Thanks, Rock and Recovery. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. This one's called How I Look at You. red conglomerations that withstand, uphold, endure. Cite the 10 Commandments, we the people are not sure. Through the future's past, if we'll chart out to someplace new. I wish that you would look at me like how I look at you. Dead men thank their lucky stars for one last heaven meal. White men walk in khakis when they know no need to steal. And new men do not exist, there is no picture, it's just a clue. I wish that you would look at me like how I look at you. Fed a real battalion to the lion in its den. Might be rough to stomach, sought delectable, but then blue rings connect yin and yang and leave little left to steal. I wish that someone would look at me and tell me what to feel. Hardiness makes me a mess like 105 North Tower. And purity, in a sense, dies dynamic by the valor, where the color of the chief suggesting something wise and true. I wish that you would look at me like how I look at you. I wish that you would look at me like how I look at you. Alright, thank y'all very much. Everybody take care of yourselves, and we'll see you out there somewhere in the real world or on the virtual world. Rock Recovery, thank you. Thanks to the summit. God bless America.